What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of LOFT TALK. This is the first episode of the week. I do want to hop right into it. I want to discuss capitalism. In our society and how we operate and what's going on right now, really with the workforce and people around my age, young people, the young workforce, and people who are kind of fresh to adulthood, but also a few years into adulthood, and we realize we really just don't like it. Not necessarily adulthood. We don't like the workforce. We don't like what's happening right now. And I seen a TikTok where some girl was like, is this really what our parents did every day? Like this, they went to work every day of the week, besides the weekends maybe, or whatever their off days were. And they dealt with this. Like this is what life was like for them. And I found myself at some points wondering the same thing. Like, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do this for years and years to come? I'm at the beginning and I'm burnt out. I'm at the beginning and I can't do this. And me personally, in my personal career, like I don't plan on being in the workforce in corporate America, clocking in somewhere for even a few more months. Like I don't even plan on being here for a couple. Like I plan on exiting the workforce of sorts within the next few months. But speaking sort of on the behalf of my generation and my peers, nobody wants to live like this. Like we're burnt out already. We just got here to this point of our lives, and we're expected to do this until around the age of 75. I can't remember what news publication said that pretty much our generation won't be able to retire until the age of 75. Like generally, of course. So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to work like this, just like this, until the age of 75? Hell no. There's no way I'm doing that. And I think that my personal thoughts are that we can take a different approach to things. I think that's really what's needed. And like I said, I found myself questioning a lot of times, how did my parents do it? How did my grandparents do it? And a lot of people say, oh, because they were strong, this generation is weak. And I don't think that this generation is weak. One, I think a lot of times what's being mistaken for weakness is the fact that we're not scared to speak and stand on a lot of our opinions, and we're aware that things can be changed. That's not a diss to like the generations before us, but I think that each generation to come tends to learn a little bit more and have a little bit of something that the generation prior to didn't have, which is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get better. How else will humanity get better if the generations that come after were only just as good, if not less than the generation before them? We wouldn't be becoming better. We wouldn't be becoming better and smarter as a society or as a people, right? Another thing that gets mistaken for is the fact that we know what we want a little bit more, and we know that it's possible. So it gets mistaken for weakness because we don't want to go and devote our lives to some corporation so that they can be millionaires and billionaires, and we have to struggle. Like we're paying to get to work. Like we're only making enough to put gas in the car, eat very cheap food, and pay rent. So it's like we're paying to pay. We're paying to. It's just like it's nothing in it for us is what it seems like right now, right? I think the solution to this is no. I think the difference between the workforce now for people my age and how it was when our parents were coming up and everything, when our parents were our age, is that corporations and these big companies that our parents were working for treated them a lot better. And it meant something more to work at these places. They had better benefits and things of that nature, right? I think like the 401k is dying off or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm speaking from Dareus' perspective. That's all I can do. I don't know everything, but I kind of heard something about 401k going away, or not being offered at most jobs. Most jobs in the United States don't offer 401k now or something like that. I could be wrong. Do not quote me. If there's like facts and stats behind that, please put that in the description box below. Not the description box, in the comment section below. I think that our parents were treated better in the workplace. I think that also it meant something more. Like working at JCPenney back, how am I, 26 years ago, working at JCPenney was a bit more respected than it is now. Like working at JCPenney, that was a good job. Like I feel like a lot of people felt like that was a good job. Working at Dillard's, fragrance department or the jewelry department at Dillard's. Okay, look at you. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was seen as like more of a respectable thing. Not that you're not respected as a person now if you work at these places, but it's kind of, the job itself is kind of seen as like another, just like, oh, it's just a job. It's just something you're doing to pass the time. Where some of these people were thrilled to get a job at a retail store like JCPenney or Dillard's, right? Like, that was a thing. It was like, oh, you got hired down at the Dillard's. You doing big things. You okay? You got discounts. Okay, But now it's kind of like, no, like, it's, and I think because back then you probably did get better discounts. You probably got treated better. It probably felt better to work there. You probably felt accomplished. You probably felt like you did something. Now a lot of that has died down, and like, these places just, it's not the same. The way the company structures aren't the same. It doesn't benefit you to work there. Whereas back in the day, I feel like I wish somebody, from that time period who was like that, who was my age back then, who was somebody who was 26, 25 or somewhere in that age range 25 years ago, if you could comment in the comment section, that would be great. And, let me know what the difference was. What was different back then to where it was amazing and great to work at a Dillard's or a JCPenney or a Von Maur or a Yonkers, right? Why is it less respected now? Like what changed? I would like to know that. Okay, so we got that established. We know that the difference is, or we know that there's a difference, right? So it's not that our generation doesn't want to work. It's not that we're lazy and we're not willing to put some effort in to get some income. It's that it's not matching up anymore. I feel like it matched up a little better back when, the previous generation was coming up. It matched, it made sense. It was like the dollar amount you got probably made a little bit of sense in that economy for the work you were putting in, right? Whereas now it's not really making sense. And these companies want more and more out of you without changing the rate of pay. And over the years, they just require more. These positions are starting to get lumped together in one, so that one position is now requiring twice as many responsibilities than it used to, but the pay didn't change. And if it did, it only went up $2. That's not equal. That's not equal. That doesn't make sense. That rate isn't rating. That rate ain't doing what it's supposed to do. And if it's not that, then it's a situation where, and I think we even see it in society now where, like, if you go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or something, 9 times out of 10, the employees are going to have an attitude. If they don't have an attitude, then they're doing nothing. Like they're not speaking to you. They're just, what would you like? Swipe your card. And then they just hand you your food, damn near throw it at you, and you're on your way. So it's either attitude or it's like nothing at all. Like they're serving you nothing, right? They're giving you no energy. And there used to be a day where, like, that was rare at McDonald's and stuff. Like back in the day when I was a kid, and it could be one of those things where it's like when you're a kid and you think everything is just grand and great and beautiful and nobody's bad. But I don't recall people at the fast food restaurants being as rude and disrespectful as they are now. Like, the service industry, I want to say, has changed, but the shit has failed. The shit plummeted. It's gone. Like, they don't care no more. They don't care how they talk to you. They don't care. Because, I mean, it's like everybody's still going to keep coming back to get the food. So once they figured out, oh, we don't have to be nice all the time. We can actually be stale and rude and people are still going to come back. Okay. Or we're not going to get fired. Got it. And I think we got so used to them doing that we don't even really, we expect it now. We don't even really check them on it. And I know some people do get checked, but like some stuff, like when they're being rude and tired, we just kind of roll with it. But I think that's also because we get it. Like almost all jobs, most jobs are like that now. Like, the environment has changed. A lot of us don't want to be at work, so we kind of understand. Okay, they got a little bit of an attitude. They're a little stale because they don't want to be here. Just like I didn't want to be at work 30 minutes ago when I just clocked out. So I'm happy to be off. I can't, I feel you, brother. You a little frustrated. Your voice got a little attitude to it. I know it's not to me. I'm not taking it personal, but so we let them get away with it. But I don't think that it's our fault of getting used to it and letting them get away with it in the service industry. I think it's that we understand that it's the company that's making them feel this way. It's the long hours. It's the pay rate not being as much as the work that they're putting in, right? It's not lining up. It's not matching up at all. And so I said all that to say, here's my proposal, right? I propose that those of us that are entrepreneurs that want to start businesses that will eventually hire people on, I think that we need to take it upon ourselves, and this may be more of a long-term thing, but And like I said, this is just my proposal. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm going to be successful as an entrepreneur. And I know there are going to be a lot of people my age, in my generation, my peers who are going to be successful as entrepreneurs as well. And I want to put this bug in y'all's ear. We need to keep in mind how the world is today and what we want to see changed. We need to, when we start creating jobs within our business, we need to go into our businesses with the idea in mind that our business structure and the environment we create needs to be different. It needs to be something people want to be a part of. It needs to be something that people want to come to. And and people might act like that's so difficult, or these companies might pretend like, oh, we're trying our best to make it great for our. These people don't give a damn. All they care about is the dollar amount. If you do right, the dollar amount is going to come. You get what I'm saying? Like, when you create the right environment and everybody can love their job and come to work happy and they love what they're doing, then you're going to make more money naturally because you're in a better mood. You want to do the work. You're not lackluster at the work. You're not slacking off. The people are not dropping the ball because they love this company. They love coming to this job. And I know just personally, that's one of my goals, is to make an environment and create jobs within my companies that I start that people love and enjoy and want to come to. They don't feel like when Monday rolls around, they don't feel like, oh my God, it's Monday, got to go to the office, or I got to get to work. Like, they're excited for Monday to roll around. You know what I mean? They're excited, like, all right, Monday's here. I get to work on this project that I've been excited to get started on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's somewhere they really want to work. And I think the more companies we get like that, the better the workforce will be. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like, even if we need to get some people who think like me along those lines, who are on that same page of changing the energy, if we can get some of them maybe even hired on in these big corporations who are failing at like making people want to stay, and have them change some shit around to where it's like, no, y'all need to make a lot of changes, or y'all gonna be eradicated in like the next few decades, because people are gonna be fed up and they're not gonna deal with it, and other companies are gonna come along and gonna treat people better, and they're gonna wash y'all out. So I mean, either we can wash their asses out, or we can get some people in there who changes their whole environment. It's more likely that more people will get to enjoy their jobs and enjoy life there, and that just makes for a happier and better society, in my opinion. But yeah, those are just my thoughts and my opinions on capitalism and what I think we should do to try to attack it. It's not a detailed plan, I promise you. I think that we all can come up with a detailed plan. However, I don't know if anybody's going to stick along for the ride long enough. I think a lot of times we get caught up in our own lives and we start to worry about ourselves and ourselves only, which is contradictory, because that in turn makes our life not the way we want it, because we're only worried about ourselves and not about the big picture of the economy, which then affects our personal life because we didn't do anything to change the economy. But that's neither here nor there. Thank y'all for watching this episode. I will see y'all in the next episode. Welcome to another week of Loft Talks. Peace.